So trigonometry, there are three important sides. Well, I mean, there's three sides to any triangle, right? But in a right triangle, we are going to be really focusing in on opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse as the sides of a triangle. Now, opposite is going to be the side that is across from your angle. Adjacent is the side that's next to it, but not the hypotenuse. And the opposite and the adjacent are both angle dependent. They'll switch. And then lastly, there's the hypotenuse. Now that's never going to switch. The hypotenuse of a right triangle is always going to be the same, no matter what angle you look from. So let's see how this works here. Let's look at angle Y, and let's say that is our first perspective. So we're at angle Y. What is opposite angle Y? Well, that's clearly going to be this line here, which we can call FM. So I'm going to highlight that in the purple. That's what I've denoted here for opposite. Oops, I swear I hit purple. Okay, there we go. Let's try it again. There we go. Okay, so we have line segment FM right there. Okay. Now, I'll write it down here. FM. Okay. Now, adjacent. Adjacent means next to. Now, there's two line segments that are next to angle Y, right? But one of them is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is across from the right angle. So it's not going to be that one. It's not going to be YM, right? Get rid of this so we don't see that anymore. We want the side length that's next to it that's not the hypotenuse. And that's going to be FY. So let me put that there. What do we do? Green? Okay. Okay. So now, I'm going to write that down here. So down here we got, already started with F. So let's go YF. Okay. So now we've got the opposite and the adjacent. Now the hypotenuse, of course, is going to be the ones across from the right angle, which is angle F. So across that, it's going to be line segment MY. So I'll put that right in here now. MY. Okay. Now let's view it from another perspective. Let's view it from the perspective of angle M. So I'm going to erase these guys right here. And now I'll view it from the perspective of angle M. Okay. So let's start with opposite. What is opposite? Well, opposite is going to be M. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, F. It's got to get out of the way so I can see. FY, or as we called it earlier, YF, which is perfectly fine. So I'm going to put that right here, YF. Now notice that the opposite for angle M is the adjacent for angle Y. All right, next one. Now we want to go with the adjacent side. So angle M, the adjacent side, we've got two side lengths that are next to it, but one of them is the hypotenuse. That's MY. So this is going to be FM. And I'm going to mark that right here. So we got FM right here. And again, if we look at this, they just switched. So earlier in the notes there I have is angle dependent. Depending on what angle you're viewing from, the opposite and the adjacent will change. However, the hypotenuse is still going to be the same. That's not changing. That's not angle dependent. The hypotenuse will always be the hypotenuse. And that's going to be MY, my. MY. All right, now in both cases, the hypotenuse are the same. It's the adjacent and the opposite that do switch. First question asks us what segment is adjacent to angle F. So angle F, we're going to be looking from right here. And which one's adjacent, or which one's next to, that's not the hypotenuse? Well, the hypotenuse is GF, so this is going to have to be FT. So which segment is adjacent to angle F? Well, that's going to be segment FT. Which segment is opposite angle J? So we're going to be looking from this perspective. Opposite would be across from, so I'm looking straight across, and that's going to be this line segment here, line segment LN. So line segment LN. Which segment is the hypotenuse? Well, all you got to do is look at the right angle and see where is, what's the side that's opposite that right angle. And we can clearly see here that is BH.